Hello, this is Dr. Birch again with installment number 3 of the dissertation preparation video sequence for the PsyD MFT students. And in this segment, we're going to be talking about the specific and general practices that you can engage in that will help make the dissertation a successful and exciting and useful experience for you. As you'll recall in the previous videos, I talked about the way in which we hope that the dissertation grows out of your everyday experience and it expands and formalizes the things you're already thinking about. For example, you may have a group curriculum that you're working on developing at your practice and hoping to start marketing a group therapy of some kind. You're already asking all kinds of questions to yourself about what's going to work and why and how am I going to do it and how am I going to market it. And our hope is that the dissertation process can help you find something like that you're interested in and excited about, and it is already sailing, you're actually already doing it, and help you be more formal about how you go about answering those questions, and then actually answer them in a systematic way, collecting data and information that informs the process, and creating a product in the process that others can learn from. And that's the heart of what research really is, and that's what we hope you'll gain through the research curriculum in that PsyD program, is that research is not an isolated set of practices that only a few select scientists engage in and which is not relevant to your everyday practice, but rather good science is grounded in the types of questions that you're already asking and wondering about, and is a set of tools and a way of looking at things that can formalize and extend your existing sense-making abilities and make them more powerful, more keen, more precise, more accurate, and more informative. And so my hope is that you'll see research as something that you are already doing and that you'll strive to get better at doing it. So how do you do that? I recommend that you thoroughly read Chapter 4 in the dissertation manual. And that is going to be revised. The school's in the process of strengthening some things, but for now it's a great resource. And if you'll look on pages 9 through the end of the document, you'll see what we're talking about here. So if you take a look in the Chapter 4 and read through that, you'll get an idea, but I wanted to provide just a brief summary. Since our assumption is that your research ideas are growing out of questions you already have, it makes sense that your coursework and the other requirements that you're engaged in as a result of your job and other things that you're doing in the MFT program are going to be a rich source of questions that as you're sitting in class, we would encourage you to be making connections with whatever it is you're doing in the field. For example, in my doctoral program, we had a grant writing class, a measurement development class, a qualitative research design class, and my area of expertise is internet sexual compulsivity treatment. And you guessed it, every thing I wrote was about that. I developed an instrument, I wrote grants for, I wrote qualitative research on internet sexual compulsivity, and none of those ended up being my dissertation actually, but they grew into a bigger program of research which I'm now pursuing. So we hope that you'll start to identify some general areas that you're interested in and that grow out of your experience. That's not to say you can't pick something that's totally different from what you're doing, but in general we assume that you're probably excited about pursuing ideas in a real way. So even if you're not currently working in a particular area, you can still pick a topic and then spend your whole doctoral career revolving around that axis. And so there's certain standard practices that you should be engaging in. I alluded to one there. Always be looking for connections with your general topic area. And utilize your coursework to explore those topics. And when you have a chance to write a paper or do a class assignment, try to always do it in your general topic area. As time goes on, hone in on a specific topic area. remember to not believe that your dissertation has to answer the question of all questions. This isn't your magnum opus. This is your debut as a systematic project thinker. So pick some general topics and start to hone in on some specific topics, and really get an idea of what interests you. When you take specific classes that are a little more targeted, like psychopharmacology, well, then explore the psychopharmacological aspects. They are now starting to use psychotropic medication in the treatment of sexual addiction. That wasn't the case when I did my dissertation. But you can look at, and that's my example, you can look at your example. What does psychopharmacology have to say about my topic area? A couple other quick things. Use your semester breaks to get rest, to self-care, but it's very valuable to have a big chunk of time to really focus in, so utilize those. So in general, if you're always looking for how this ties to your topic area, you're going to be situated well. Now, more specifically, we've written this portion of the document called the touch points, where we've gone through every class and we've kind of identified some specific things that occur in those classes which directly support dissertation processes. For example, in your first semester, you have academic writing. Well, there's some key practices you can do in that class that will help you move forward on your dissertation. When you're in your research courses, there's some specific practices, some key practices that you can do to start to look at that. When you're taking an assessment class, you can be looking at what are the assessment measures that are out there that relate to my general topic area. So our recommendation is that during your first year of the program, particularly, that you really keep an open mind, but that you do at least funnel into a general topic area, for example, substance abuse treatment, and start to look for some specific issues that concern you. Are you concerned about treatment efficacy? Are you interested in 12-step groups? Are you interested in psychopharmacological issues related to substance abuse? What is it that really specifically gets you interested and would be salient and important and relevant to your work to find out about? So all during that first year, we recommend that you be engaging in these standard and specific practices, and that you start developing your topic. Now, once you pick a general and a specific topic, what we recommend is that because you will be writing papers, that will give you the chance to do some literature searches. So both through your coursework as well as on your own. I know that if you're really bored one Saturday afternoon or Friday night and you want to go to the library and look up some journal articles, that's probably the first thing on your list that you'd like to do with your friend. You could have a party, a lit search party with some other psychologists or marriage and family therapists. But whenever you find time to do it, start to just get a sense of what is the research saying out there. So look at the last 5 years, go to EBSCO through the library website, look at the last 5 years, find the key journals that publish material related to you. For me, it's the Journal of Sexual Addiction and Compulsivity, the Journal of Marital and Family Therapy. Those are my big two journals. Whatever journal you might be interested in, and just start reading through and getting a couple of articles. If you can get 10 articles that seem really interesting to you, then read those and pay special attention to who they cite. So when you're reading an article that says, in a recent comprehensive review, so-and-so found that, oh, that's an exhaustive paper, that's going to have a lot of resources in it. Or when somebody cites something more that's very specifically piqued to your interest. For example, a treatment efficacy study about, or treatment effectiveness study about substance abuse that refers to 12-step groups and cites literature about the effectiveness of 12-step groups. Maybe that's really interesting to you. So I almost find that the reference lists of key articles is a better source of relevant articles than a database in which articles are searched for. The other really effective search methodologies, once you've found an article that's seminal and central to your topic, is to figure out who else has cited that same article. You can do that through Social Science Citation Index, which unfortunately we don't have access to. It's kind of an older database. I think it's kind of been outdated a bit. You can use Google Scholar, and I think it lists all the references in an article, and then you can click on that reference and do some kind of reverse search or something like that. I haven't looked into that recently, but figure out who is citing the person that you think is central. So these are some practices that we believe that if you engage in consistently throughout your first year, is going to make a huge difference towards deciding what you really want this to be about and what it's going to look like. In the next video, I will talk about the options that exist of the types of projects that you can do once you've decided on a topic, as well as a little bit about how to pick a chair. And I think I might have referred to a fifth video, but I can't remember, and I don't think there's anything on my outline here that I haven't covered. So I think we'll probably end with the fourth video. And I guess that's the fifth video, is talking about what I'm here to do and what Dr. Scaglione and Dr. DeFeo on the other campuses are here to do to help you move the process forward. So that's video 5. All right, thank you.